Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is sitting on the edge of potentially a major break to the downside below this critical area of support, while in the short term, the RSI is attempting another bounce from this line of support, which I'll talk about later in the video, so make sure to watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still trading just above the point of invalidation here in the super trend indicator. And in case you're new to this channel, basically almost every day since the very beginning of this year, back below $20,000, I've been talking about how the price of Bitcoin is basically within a much larger bullish trend here in the larger timeframes, because as you can see here on the 4-day chart, we're still seeing significant higher lows and higher highs here in the price of Bitcoin. And on top of that, if you're looking at the super trend indicator, what we've seen since basically the very beginning of this year is the 4-day Bitcoin super trend indicator flip into the green. And since the beginning of this year, it has stayed green, the exact opposite to the 2022 bear market, where basically during all of 2022, this super trend indicator stayed red, indicating a bear market or a larger bearish trend. But once again, so far 2023 has basically been the exact opposite to 2022, because the larger trend has been more bullish than bearish quite clearly. But obviously during the larger bullish trend, we have seen shorter term bearish trends, just like how during 2022 the larger trend was bearish, but we did actually see some shorter term bullish trends during the larger bearish trend. But as with any trend, there is a point of invalidation. First of all, if you're looking at price action alone, the point of invalidation for a bullish trend is if we confirm a new lower low and lower high, because essentially if we start forming lower lows and lower highs again on the larger time frames, then obviously that is bearish price structure. But at least as of right now, that has not yet happened, because we haven't even formed a lower low below this previous low, at least not yet. And even in that case, we would still really need to form a lower high in place in order to confirm a larger bearish trend based on the price alone. But if you're looking at the super trend indicator right here, in order to flip this indicator from green back to red, we need to break below this point of invalidation, this line right here, which is sitting at around 25,000 approximately. And we would also need to see confirmation, like for example, at least a 4-day candle close, because we're on the 4-day time frame, but ideally weekly candle closes below 25k in order to confirm that break to the downside and confirm that trend reversal signal here in the super trend indicator. And so once again, considering the fact that at least as of right now, that has not yet happened, this technically means that we're still currently within that larger bullish trend until we actually invalidate the trend. But obviously what we've seen more recently over the last 1 to 2 months or so is more of a shorter term bearish trend, like what we saw back here or back here, for example. And this is mostly happening right now due to these larger bearish divergences currently playing out here on the 4-day chart and also on the daily time frame, because once again, as I've been saying since all the way back up here at around $30,000, we technically have a bearish divergence active on the daily chart. And once again, we also have a bearish divergence on the 4-day time frame, which basically means we should not really be expecting a lot of bullish momentum, at least in the somewhat shorter term relative to these larger time frames. But anyway, taking another look at that daily Bitcoin chart, once again, we're still technically looking more bearish than bullish if you're looking at the trend on the daily time frame, because we have not yet confirmed any new higher highs or higher lows again in the price action, or really in the RSI forming new higher highs above this descending line of resistance. And so once again, at least as of right now, this is pointing towards more of a bearish trend on the daily time frame. But what is forming in the RSI is, as I've said over the last few days, a possible bullish divergence is forming here on the daily time frame, because we have already seen some lower lows confirm in the daily candle closes in the price action, while also forming higher lows in the daily Bitcoin RSI. But at least as of right now, this has not yet been confirmed. So once again, it is potentially forming, but this potential bullish divergence on the daily chart is not yet confirmed. And as for the daily Bitcoin MACD, as of right now, this is still currently showing very low momentum, at least in the somewhat shorter term relative to the daily time frame, which basically means we should not necessarily expect a massive massive move here on the daily time frame in the shorter term. And now if you're zooming into the 6-hour Bitcoin chart, once again, this small bullish divergence is technically still playing out as I recorded this video, because right now the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI is still holding above this ascending line of support, forming higher lows. But obviously, if we do end up seeing a breakdown in the RSI below that line of support and forming new lower lows, then in that case, obviously that would be a signal pointing towards the invalidation of this small bullish divergence on the 6-hour time frame. And considering the fact that this small bullish divergence is resulting in a bit of a pause from that bearish trend on the daily time frame, essentially, if we do end up seeing the invalidation of this bullish divergence by seeing those invalidation signals here in the RSI, then that would essentially mean we could soon resume that bearish trend on the daily time frame after this small pause that we've seen over the last 1 week or so. And as for short-term support and resistance, looking at the Bitcoin order books, we still have a decent amount of buy orders in between around 25.3k to 25.4k acting as support, and we also have another group of buy orders sitting at around $25,000 per Bitcoin. And as for resistance, looking at the sell orders, we still have a decent amount of sell orders sitting in between around 26.2k to 26.4k acting as resistance. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is attempting a break to the downside below this important area of support, which is sitting at approximately 1620 to 1660. And this area of support is not only based on these previous lows, but also the volume profile indicator here on the daily time frame. And as you can see in the volume profile indicator, this volume really starts to drop off after around 1620. So basically, if we see a confirmed break below 1620 with daily candle closes below that level, then essentially immediately to the downside, we don't really have a lot of support in that area. So we could potentially see a fairly quick move to the downside if a break below 1620 confirms first. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now the daily Ethereum MACD is still currently showing very low momentum. And as for the daily Ethereum RSI, once again, like Bitcoin, this has not yet broken out from that lower high structure. And so technically speaking, this is still looking more bearish than bullish, just like the trend on the daily time frame in the price. But once again, as of right now, there is a possible bullish divergence forming here on the daily time frame that we need to pay attention to, as it is currently forming. But at least as of right now, this potential bullish divergence is not yet confirmed. And now, if this bearish trend on the daily time frame continues with a confirmed break below this area of support, then in that case, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool, we still have that 50% retracement level of support sitting at around 1510 to 1520, so just above 1.5k. And below that level, we have the important golden pocket area of support sitting in between around 1360 to 1.4k. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour chart, right now, as I recorded this video, the 6-hour Ethereum RSI is attempting another bounce or another test of this line of support in the RSI. And basically, if we end up seeing another confirmed bounce in the RSI from this line of support, then once again, that would tell us that this bullish divergence is still playing out in the short term. So we could still due to see a pause from that bearish trend on the daily chart, which usually plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action, if not a slight bullish relief, which is kind of like what we've seen over the last 1 week or so, mostly choppy sideways price action. But like I said earlier in the video for Bitcoin, if we end up seeing a confirmed break to the downside here in the 6-hour Ethereum RSI below this line of support and also into new lower lows below this previous low, then in that case, that would be an invalidation signal for this small bullish divergence on the 6-hour chart. And if this bullish divergence is no longer valid in that scenario, then once again, we're no longer due to see just a pause from the bearish trend, which basically means that bearish trend on the daily time frame could resume with another leg to the downside if this small bullish divergence invalidates. But either way, if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways like right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.